The temporary backdrops are down, and I'm getting ready to put up some back pieces to hold this masonite. Yes, I decided on masonite instead of the gator board that I usually use. Masonite's fairly inexpensive. It's heavier. I'm using these 1x3 or whatever they end up being, dimensional lumber, furring strip type things. Fairly inexpensive. That's the key right now. And then I've already cut down this masonite. Cut it to almost 32 inches. And the backdrop will have one, it's probably going to be 30. And it's going to leave a little bit of room on top. And I'm going to put some kind of decorative top piece. Now, of course, time-lapse video looks neat, but I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this today. And that would look kind of silly just putting 5 or 6 of them up. You never know, though. I'll probably kick myself after I'm done. Well, guess what? I did them all, at least the verticals. And I have these pieces sitting here ready to go up, but I want to see how they sit up there, and if I can get them flush, then I'll leave it just like that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut some horizontals, but I don't have a lot of that left. I think we can do it. So that one looks pretty good. Really, all I'm doing is taking this liquid nails, running a bead down each one of these stringers, putting it up against it, putting the masonite up against it, and then tacking in a few of these nails here like this. All right, that's all I can do today. But that's a lot. All the stringers, all the masonite. I got to go back and clean up these areas here, the joints. And remember, I'm not worried about where they're sitting up top because I'm going to have a decorative piece that sits over top of it. So that's not bad for now. And I've been thinking about this. So the idea is to make these mountains initially removable. The hills initially removable. And what I mean is, if I put a flat piece on here and then build on top of it all the way down as far as I'm going to do the hill, I can remove it, put the backdrops up, put that back in, and then start working on the decorative scenery. So I'm talking about the hill substructure, whatever you want to call it. Well, I'm fumbling for words today. Instead of going directly from my plan in the SCARM program, I'd rather lay this out by hand and kind of feel that curve, see what it looks like. It's supposed to be sharp, but not too stupid sharp. Is that a word? That's not bad. So I kind of traced around the outside, held this one up over this track here, and then drew the rest of the line. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. While this is drying, I started the next section. It's kind of going to go down here like that. And the idea is this is a big hillside, and it comes down, kind of continues like it's on a shelf. Get it? Shelf. And we got a turnout here, which goes to a mine there or whatever, and maybe it goes around to that wall there, just small industry, or maybe like a continuation if I ever run it back down. All right, this is the next morning, and I've let all this dry and added in some wooden ties. Those basswood ties I cut. It's looking pretty good. And I really think this is going to make a neat scene with the hill climbing up, nice steep hill, and then dropping off like a cliff down to the stream. That's a start. And I don't normally use my good soldering iron for this, but I'm getting ready to change out the tip, so I figured, okay, let's just go instead of using the hot foam cutter. All right, I'm ripping apart this backdrop case and using the pieces. And if you don't know what that's for, it was to hold the backdrops. They're sitting back there for the old spruce coal and timber layout, like a protective carrying case that I made years ago. But I'm ripping that apart and using those pieces because I don't have any more fresh 4x8 sheets here, and I really don't feel like going to the store and buying those right now. So I'm going to attempt to make one solid flat base piece that'll go from here down to that curve there. And if I can do that, then I can build my terrain on top of it, and then I can remove it when I need to work on the backdrop section, because I'm not ready to do that. This is my base layer. And I think I misspoke when I said this is all going to be one piece. What I meant was one piece where there's scenery on top of it that I can move it. So literally these three pieces may end up being one piece, but there's no way I can move this whole, whatever this is, 15, 16 feet. I'm doing this in an effort to make it easy to move these things off here when I do get ready to do the backdrops. And why, you ask, am I not doing the backdrops now? Well, I normally would if this was a home layout and I wasn't videotaping it, but for video's sake, I don't just want to do bench work, then track work, then wiring. I like to mix it up. As long as I can get some trains on here and start running and get a general idea of what the layout looks like as I go, I think that's more fun for me, at least in terms of trying to create a video. But yes, if I wasn't doing this for video, I would do it in a sequence and just get it done. But this will allow me to work in sections, and I might even have an area scenic down here before there's any track work all the way at the end. So I'm just trying to make it fun and keep motivated. So I don't know what you call these, maybe clamps, splints. I don't know what the word for it is. Clevis? I don't know. You tell me. What's the word for it when you splint something together? Splint, right? Like a splint. So in theory, once this dries, this can be picked up in one piece. And I'm not saying you just pick it up with one finger, but at least it can be removed for a minute, put on a table over here, and then put back. So I guess what I need to do now is start making some landforms. So I don't think I have enough to stack this stuff in traditional stack carve fashion. So we're going to have to do it like I did in the old spruce coal and timber layout, and I outlined that in a previous video. I think it's called Landforms. You can check it out, you can look for it. But this is exciting. Using pieces from that old box, I cut them into pieces like this. I know I measured 20 inches high as the tallest point at the back of the backdrop. So what I can do now, I marked a line on there, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that contour. And then we'll call these splines, and I'm going to make a few of them and line them up across here. Now this isn't going to stand up on its own, but once we get enough of them in here and connect them together, it'll be just fine. So that's pretty steep, but that is indicative of the Appalachian region, which we're modeling. All right, this is like a canvas, and we are the artists. With the stream over here and the highest point of the mountain there, we're going to make this ridge come across and then drop down into the little stream valley there. To help these stand up, some of them I put screws in. It's just to temporarily pin it in place to hold it there until I get some supports. And you're probably asking yourself, what are you actually going to have as the foundation for the contours? Meaning, what's going to sit on here? Because it's obviously not going to be stacked foam. It's either going to be cardboard webbing with paper mache or screen wire and paper mache. And I want to apologize. I grabbed these backdrops in the wrong order. These are just a temporary plain paper backdrops, but I grabbed them in the wrong order. I just wanted some color up there, but whatever. I'm going to do some new ones soon. This is our hill. And I haven't put the support braces in here, but I did move this. And real quick, I just want to show you how this pulls out. And I can take it off. Once I get secure it and put all the supports in it, it's going to be pretty strong. Anyway, check it out. This is all going to be carved up. I think it came out nice for an afternoon's work.